In this video, we are going to fit a BlackVue camera in we're calling it Stiglet, in our Model 90 XS. He's like the baby Stiglet. Right, so what do we get? Now, we're just doing this because some people have said it's a good camera and you should try it and see if it works with your tap-in loop. So we're going to take the power from the overhead console, so this should be easy to fit. Now, depending on how we go with this, we may well pre-wire some of these for people and sell it as a pre-wired kit, but we'll see how we go. We'll see if it works. So we're going to install it in the car using our loom, and we are going to set it up on our phone. I got Destiny helping me, and she's under 30, so she'll better use the phone, right. So let's have a look. Enough nonsense. What have we got? So this is the BlackVue, that model number there. That one. Don't know how much it is. I've forgotten now. Right, so we have got what looks like a hardwire loom, which is, we'll have a look at this. This is, we like the electrical bits. Okay, so we have got I guess they're inline fuses. Now this is cool. So they've got, I've not seen this before. The other kits we've got have only ever normally fused one. So we've got 3 wires and they're labeled as accessory plus, which will be what we call ignition live. This one here is battery positive, which is permanently, and then ground. So the 2 power signals have both got an inline fuse in there, I'm guessing. And then it goes through and it's got a nice little plug that goes onto the camera, I guess. Right, so that's probably the route we're going to go down. So it looks like they give you additionally a plug-in cigarette lighter loom, but these just take up your USB ports and get in the way, and you've got to route it all up through your windscreen pillar. So we're probably not going to use that. Right, and what else? What does this one do? I reckon this could be a front. I'm making this up. Typical man instructions. I haven't read the instructions yet. Destiny, you read the instructions. Right, so it looks like we've got a loom in. Now, my guess is going to be this is probably going to take power, and it looks like a long one, doesn't it, to the rear loom. Right, look, they give us an SD card holder. That's an adapter and an SD card. They give us some sticky bits for routing cables, I'm guessing. And then we've got a front and a rear camera. So let's have a look. Destiny's trying to read the instructions and film. So, look. I was right, look. So on here, it looks like we've got a plug here. So we've got USB, which I guess is for programming or something. We've got DC in, and we've got the rear camera. And we've got a Wi-Fi button we can press to pair. Again, we will read the instructions. This is the unboxing bit of the video. And we've got a rear camera. So we've got a runner cable to the rear. So we'll have to think how we do that. And then that must have a power in. There you go, it's got a power in there. So we will mount that in the back of the Defender, but we will mount it where it's not going to get in the way of our new molly plate. Right, so there we go. So I will now unwrap this, read the instructions, and you will join us again in the car. Right, one little side discussion we've just been having here is that you will notice there is no power block in the hardwire lead. Now, in the Garmin and Nextbase cameras, there's a voltage conversion block, because your car wiring or your cigarette lighter, if you use this type, this is 12 volts here, and the other cameras convert it to USB, which is 5 volts, whereas this one is quite interesting, quite good, in that it leaves it as 12 volts going into the camera. Now, the advantage of this is we have struggled with radio interference, particularly on DAB, with some of the other hardwire kits, and all the voltage interference, the Electra EMC interference, comes from the voltage conversion block, where it's changing it from 12 to 5 volts. And so often the looms have a little magnet, a ferrite on them, to sort of absorb the noise from the voltage converter. So one thing I'm already liking about the BlackVue camera is that it runs on 12 volts, not 5. Now, if any of you want to know, we've just metered out the connections. So on the plug that goes into the camera, you've got 2 contacts on the outside, the bigger one, the smaller one, and one on the inside. So I've sort of drawn it on the table here. So battery positive is the large outer part. The smaller outer part is the accessory live, and the inner bit is your ground. So if any of you want to check your voltages or debug your BlackVue cameras, that's the voltages we should see, and we can test that later if we've got a problem. Right, now let's get in the car. Right, so we're not quite in the car yet, we're getting there, I get carried away. Right, so we've got to connect these 3 wires to these 3 wires. Now be careful, the black goes to the black, that's the ground, that's easy, right? So we'll do that. The next one, it's not the red to the red. On our loom, the ignition live is on the green. You've got to connect that to the red on the BlackVue camera, and then the battery positive, we've done red for battery positive, and they've done yellow, so we've got to connect those. So I'll go and solder those, put a bit of heat shrink, show you that. I'm going to leave a little bit of length because I don't want these big cumbersome bits right next to this. I'm going to give us a little bit of leeway like that so that I can tuck those out the way. Right, and then we will join you in the car. Right, here we go. Yeah, so we're soldering away. Solder those 3 connections, put some heat shrink on them. You join us in the car at last, and we are now ready to do that. So we have got our lead. So we are going to plug the lead in here. Then we are going to try and thread this connector through in behind here. Right, now bear in mind this is just the front camera. We are going to get onto the rear camera, which is a whole world of fun, but not quite as bad as we thought. Right, so here we go. So if you do this, now this will look easy what I'm about to do here, but you can pull down here, or you can put a trim tool in. You see just here where the little gap is, you can put it in here and lever it. Ours has been out that many times, it's ridiculously loose. So you can see the spring clips there, and then I'll show you the prongs at the front. How's that light looking? Right, then we've got to unplug this connector, and we've got to push down there. There's a little tab on the top. I'll show you this in more detail. So let me just show you that. There's a little tab there you've got to push down, and there's also a second wire. Now we can leave him, he can dangle there. Let's make sure he doesn't break, or you can disconnect him if you want. Now notice these 2 little dog legs here, they go into 2 little apertures at the end. So when you're installing it, they fire in first, and then you rock it about those, and then these spring clips go up into these little grooves just tucked in here. Right, so that's all good. Now we're not going to plug anything in yet. We don't want to, I mean, I would recommend you disconnect your battery, which is under the seat. We've not managed to blow one up yet, but for good practice, if you've got time, you can disconnect your battery. Right, so that lead's going to go in, but I don't want to create a load of static shocks with all this. So first thing we're going to do is route this through here. So let me have a look. I might do a bit of this, and then Destiny's might better do a bit. Right, so we are going to use this flexi ruler. Now this flexi ruler, if we get it right, I can shove it there, and you should see it fight its way out there. Right, so that's in the middle of the sun visor. Whoop. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to tape this little plug here. Look at this. Well, we got prepared for this. We're getting professional at this, aren't we, Destiny? Right, now I want to try and, I don't want him coming off, so I want him a nice tapered. Right then. Now, which way up do you reckon? Should we go up to the windscreen or down? Let's go down that way. Right, I'll put it in, and you see if you can grab it. So you can see, it's hard to see really, but there's this big cavity in here. Right, and if you'll find it, practice with the ruler first. Right, he's going in. Right, focus on the other end. Let's see if by magickery we can. Oh, is he? The cable might be stopping me. Oh, let me just check I'm in the right place again. Can you hear it there? But it's not. I
could get a trim tool just to pry this down.
Yeah, something's stopping me. Let me have a look. Have a look if there's any evidence of the. Oh, look. So it's snarling on there. Let me try it the other way up. See if that makes it go through better. Oh. Go on. Right, and have you got it? It's all with you now. Sorry, let me give you a hand. You're trying to film, and
I got it.
you got it. Go on then. Keep pulling. Gently, gently, gently. Wow, bingo. We're in. Right. So we have got the lead through. So we're flying. We've bossed this Destiny. We have so much got it. Right then. So let's plug it in. Which end should we plug in first? Is the point of debate, isn't it? Right, and so let's plug that end in first. The spring tab goes at the top. There you go, that clicks in. We'll have to hide all these. Right, let's put those 2 prongs in. Let's give us a little bit of length here. Oh, and let's just connect that. Right, so that's all live and connected now. Right, now, we are going to leave that there, dangling. But you could put that up and start testing it. But we are now going to get on the excitement that is the rear dash cam loom. So what we are going to do, folks, now, we have a sunroof. Now, I think this would probably be easier without a sunroof. But we are going to use a bit of blue pipe, and we are going to go from here to the interior light. Right, we've worked out how we can fish it, and then we're going to go from the interior light. This is like our staging post. We are then going to go to the rear. So which way should we do it first? The cable's about the same on each end, isn't it, Destiny? So I don't think it really matters. So let's go and start at the back, and we can come all the way here, then to the front, and then we can finish off the video at the front. Right, to the back. Right, next thing is to remove this panel above the, now it's got 4 metal clips at the back, so we're gonna like pull that down, and then we're gonna slide it off the back. So if you pull this rubber trim off the back, which will be again a little bit harder than it is, and it's got this gloopy glue to sort of stop it. For God, they've proper dosed that up with glue, haven't they? Right then, and you can see you've got these clips. So these clips are all going to come backwards. So if we go along the front edge, you should just be able to gently. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then it sort of flops down a bit, and then you need to pull it rearwards to sort of pull these off. There you go, there's 1. Oh, I'm sort of, you get your hand in behind and push on the metal clip. That's it. 2. Oh, there you go. Go on. 3. So what I was doing, you can feel up behind, you can push on that metal clip from behind and push it off. You can see there a sort of spring clip. So that's that rear panel off. Right, so now there is a yellow clip. Now we're going to show you the yellow clip, okay, and he goes up in there. Now it slides in, going to replace it, but it's got sort of an arrowhead on there, but we've snapped it off. So we might have to provide, if we do a kit, we'll find the part number for these, then we won't be Destiny, and we'll get those up for sale. But you can put the new one back in, and it'll, but by doing that, it gives you access then to up inside there. So we reckon now, we'll take the interior light out now, and then we'll try and fish the wire from the interior light, the tube, to here. We'll get the cable and we'll pull it back to the middle. Let's go. All right, we're in the back. So this is the interior light. So if you get a trim tool in the back edge, there's a clip that Destin will show us in a minute, and it just flips off. So let's have a look. My camera works a bit shorty. But there's this little springy plastic bit, and if you catch it, it catches the edge and pushes that in. And we can leave that. I mean, does it unplug? We can get it out of the way. Yeah, how's the plug work on that? It just looks like one of those pulley ones. Yeah, it's just a pull one here. Okay, so you can have that. Right, and now I need to get some tube, and let's have a look at routing it back. Right, so Destiny's in there trying to straighten out a bit of pipe. Can I just have a look at that little bit of pipe? It came on a coil, and there's, let me just show you, it's this sort of airline pipe. It's sort of semi-rigid. So the trouble is we've done this fine, and what we've got is we've got the headline in there, we've got the torch in there, and Destiny's going to put it in the little light there, and we're going to look there. So that's going in there, right, and we're going to look for it coming out in the space up here. Right, if it was a bit more, there might be a better material for using it. Oh, I can hear it.
We're in the second headline.
We're in the second. Yeah, there's actually a couple of bits. There's 2 metal panels. You don't want to get between those two, if you can. Oh, I think you got behind the two. Let's have a look. There it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, he was there. There you go. Right, so there we go. Give me a, so you can see that there. So what I'll do now, I'll get a bit of tape. We'll tape that and we'll pull it back through, and we've made progress. Right, so this is the front to back camera lead. Now both these plugs are the same, but one's angled and one's straight. Now it's a debate. Now I'm actually going to put the front one, that pointy one, because that's going to be the easier one to thread, I think. I don't think it really matters whether it comes out the side of the back camera or the front camera. I think we'll be okay either way. So I'm going to take that front bit now, and I'm going to tape it onto my blue pipe there, and then Destiny's going to pull. Right, Destiny, can we swap a bit of tape for a camera? Whoop. Right there. So, oh, do you reckon it'll go? Look at that, that's a pro touch. See that, what I've done there?
Lovely.
I've stuck it in the end there. So it's got no step to get on. I'll make this up as I go along. That's a new addition for this video. That wasn't in the script, that.
Yeah.
We've gone off piste again. Imagine. Right. Put a little bit more on that front edge. Right, then we'll swap back, and you can pull that through, and then we're halfway there. Oh, this is easier than taking all. Right, we ought to say, can you see me there?
Yep.
We ought to say that I did do the video fitting the genuine Land Rover dash cam and fitting the rear dash cam that sticks onto the window, and you have to take your sills out, your A-pillar trim off, your dash end off, come through this hinge and mount it on the rear door. We're going to do it the easy, cheap way. We're going to mount the camera onto this plastic panel that we've just taken off, and it will look out through the rear window. And the advantage of that is it's a lot quicker. We can route it. And also, Destiny was saying on the door, if you slam the door, there's more chance, whereas this one's just sat there. So unless you bang your head on it or something, it's not going to... And we might make a little mount for it. Right, let me get this cable untangled. Right, swaps again. Right, now let's see if we can. Jenny, so if I'll feed it and you pull it, and let's see. You just monitor your force. Yeah, is he going? Or has he got stuck? Oh no. Try again. There we go, here we go, here we go. It's coming, it's coming. You got it? You got the black tape? Yes, there we go. Right, so we're halfway through. So, right, we'll go and work out the next bit. Whether I think we're probably going to do the blue pipe in again from that end round to the front. Right, here we go. So we don't need to untape it at all. We've pulled all the cable through that we needed now. So we've got a whole chunk of it in the middle. Right, Destiny. And what we're looking for is it coming out this front bit. All right, tell me when you think you've got most of it through.
Yeah, it's all through.
It's all through. Right, I'm going to dive my hand in here. And let me see if I can... Oh, do you want to grab a camera? Right, let's see if I can... Right, give it a wiggle. Give it a rotatey wiggle. Right, with a bit of jiggery pokery. Right, that's it. Feed it through. There's no surrender. Right then. Oh, it's a bit... Hold on, it's got a bit... Let me... That's it. I'm helping it through a bit. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Oh, it's got to be here soon. Right. Now I reckon we just keep going, because we're on a lucky run. Just a little tiny more, right? And I reckon if I go back over there, right, I reckon I can just head for the front again instead of the. Oh, look at that! We're straight in. We're gonna have to put this pipe. Is the business. I was just walking past it in the warehouse. We use this for our diff breather kits. Now, have I routed it in a particular... I guess if you were keen, I think there's plenty of room there. You see how I've sort of half gone under this beam here. Right, let's see if it'll... There we go. Right, so we're going to... So you've got chunks there, right? Let's have a look. Let's swap the camera. So can you tuck all that sort of excess up? We might as well leave it in the middle there, out the way, aren't we, Destiny?
Yeah.
We don't want it at the front or the back. Coil that up. Pop him in behind there. Get him out the way. Oh, you haven't lost my, where's my light lead? Where's my interior light connector? You still got him? Oh, I thought you'd lost it. Right, so there we go. Right, so we'll get the interior light back in, and then I think we're ready to put this back in and get connecting up. Right, we've got everything in now. We're all connected. Let me just hide those little. You could tape them up more, or if you're worried about them rattling, you could put a little bit of foam or something around them. Right, and then we get the two front prongs in. Make sure that connector's out the way there. Okay, and that, there you go. That all pops back in. We got it back in there. Yeah, well done. Right, so right, we can untape this now. There we go. Pull that off. Oh, that tube is lush. So let us know if you want to do, if you want us to do a kit. We could put a few bits and pieces in. So now we've got two. Now we need to remember which one's which. Oh, this is clever. Look, the angled one is the main input for the front, and this one is the rear. So the way we've done it, if we'd have put the rear end through, we wouldn't have known which was which. It's almost like we planned it. Honestly, we did. Right then. So, right, we don't want to stick this on until we've tested it. So let's have a look. What connections we got on the back there? So that says rear, and that says DC in, right? So let's go DC in. All right, ease in, and let's go rear. Right now, Destiny, this is where you come into your. Right, we've got the lights on, but no one's in. Like, oh look, we got lights going on. Look what we got, blue. Right, we will now read the instructions over a cup of tea. And what else are we going to do? Oh, Lily's brought brownies in. We got brownies. And we are gonna. What are we going to do? We're going to download the app, but we'll do it all with you. So we'll work out what app we need to download. We've got to download an app, I think. Position the camera, position the rear camera, and then we're all ready to catch crazy car driving stuff. Right, let's go.